Hello everybody and welcome to the Bible Talk here at St Paul's Cathedral, home church for Anglicans in Melbourne and Geelong. And once again I'd like to welcome our Chief Props Officer, our Dean Andreas. Hello Andreas.
Hi Heather.
How are you going? You good?
I'm going really well.
That's good, that's good. And here I have, no, not a cow, it's actually Archie, our dog.
That's a very clever disguise.
It is, it's a fabulous cow making horns there, and if you wanted to know how to make them, do get in touch. Talking about that, thank you for all the correspondence. We do love to hear from you. Keep the letters and the Facebook comments coming in. I should just say to those of you who've asked, will Archie be getting his own Facebook page? Well, no, because not only can he not see the screen, he can't type either. It's a little bit tricky for him, nor does he ever take photos. So there you go. I'm sorry about that. Well, actually, speaking about hearing from other people, Andreas, I'm just wondering, how do you normally receive the news?
Oh, look, I look it up on the phone. I've got a couple of apps there for my favourite newspapers, and I just take up my phone like this, and there's the news. Look.
So you read the newspaper on your phone via the internet? Yes, so you could probably, we watch the TV news, and I often hear the radio news in the car when I'm driving around. But you know, before the days of printed newspapers, there were people called town criers who walked through the streets ringing a bell to catch people's attention to tell them the news. Now, we don't have one of those. I've just got, this sounds more like a reception bell.
Look, I reckon if we use the town crying microphone.
Okay. I think that's a little bit loud, Andreas.
Do you reckon?
Yeah,
you reckon? I like it.
I think maybe we'll just use the cowbell.
Oh, the cowbell.
Which is, of course, while he's dressed as a cow. That's better. Okay, a bit more cowbell. Thank you. Good. Good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Thank you. So, hear ye, they would shout. And then they would shout out the news from every street corner, announcing the time maybe of a town meeting or other items of interest to the people. Now, even after printed newspapers came along, for instance, when I was a child, you know, 174 years ago, people who sold newspapers would stand in the street morning and evening, often right out here in Swanson Street near the station, shouting out the name they were selling, Herald, Herald, like that, so that you could catch up on the day's news. Or as they sometimes seem to do it in the old American movies, shouting out, Extra! Extra! Read all about it!
Read all about it!
Yeah, good. Sometimes they'd shout out the main headline of the day also, trying to get the attention of those who were passing by, so they'd buy the newspaper to find out about the issue. Now, no matter how you get the news, it is really important to know what's going on around us. Yeah. Now, long before Jesus was born, so that's more than 2,000 years ago.
Much older than either of us.
Yeah, yes, that's right. God spoke through the prophet Isaiah to tell how he would spread the news of the coming Messiah. Isaiah wrote this down. In the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord. Make straight in the desert a highway for our God. Prepare for God's arrival. Make the road straight and smooth, a highway fit for God. Fill up the valleys, level the hills. Maybe a bit more cowbell. Thank you. When Mark wrote his gospel account, those same words were used by him to describe John the Baptist. Now, you've done a Zoom with John the Baptist, haven't you, Andreas?
Yeah. Just a couple of weeks ago I spoke with him.
Yeah, and also St Paul now that I...
And also St Paul.
Yes, good. Yeah. Anyway, but John announced a very important message. More cowbell. Prepare for God's arrival. In the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord. Make straight in the desert a highway for our God. John the Baptist was the messenger that God chose to bring this good news to his people. John was a very unusual man who wore clothes made of camel hair with a leather belt around his waist. He dressed like one of the Old Testament prophets, and he ate locusts and wild honey. Actually, we've got some locusts.
We've got some here. Shall we do a bit of a...
Do you want to try the fresh green one or the dried chocolate? I'm going to try a fresh green one, I think. Let's see.
I'm going to go with the chocolate one just to see.
Oh, it's crunchy.
It was when last time we ate it.
Oh, it's disgusting.
This is quite nice, actually.
I've got a leg or an antenna between my teeth, I think. Oh.
No, it's disgusting. One of these ones, they're much nicer.
The chocolate later, maybe. I think I'll just get a big drink later. But you know, usually when we read about locusts in the Old Testament, they're part of God's judgment on the people for their failure to recognise God as God. And yet here we have John calling out that people should be ready for God to be among them, and he's eating the locusts, right, other way around. Well, something different is being announced by John. More cowbell. God is about to be among his people. In fact, John the Baptist says that whilst he baptises them with water to show that they've turned away from their sins and their sins are washed away symbolically, the one to come, the Messiah, will bring with him an outpouring of God's Spirit. That's how he will baptise people. And it will be something much bigger than what John was doing. Now, John travelled around the desert preaching that people should repent of their sins and turn to God and eating his locusts. And the people were baptised in the Jordan River. John was very popular.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah, lots of people came.
Mark often includes comments about how many people went to listen to him. But he always told the people about Jesus. Someone is coming soon who's greater than I am, he said. He is so much greater that I'm not even worthy to stoop down and untie the straps on his sandals. Yes, John was faithful in bringing the news to the people. Prepare the way for God. Now, it's been 2,000 years since God sent his son, but God still needs messengers to spread the news. More cowbell. This Advent, as we prepare to celebrate Jesus' birth and as we look forward to Jesus coming again, we can, all of us, be God's messengers and share the good news with others, whether you have a cowbell or not.
You've got a song about this, haven't you?
I have. We'll sing the song. All right. It's one I just wrote last night, completely original. Where does it start? I'm the voice, try and understand this. Listen up and I'll make it clear.
Locusts and honey, his diet was quite funny.
We're all gonna start repenting. We're not gonna ignore sin.
No.
No, it's a good way to be in Advent, I feel.
It's
and
excellent.
All the time. We'll see you next week.